A dog with no name, a man with no way out, one trapped in a freezing basement, blindfolded and bound, the other just a stray with busted paws and memories of love buried so deep you'd think it never existed. No badge, no partner, no command, just instinct and a will to keep moving, even after everyone else had given up. But when the world forgot about Deputy Cole Harris, a stray German shepherd sure didn't. He heard the silence, saw through the dark, and what that old dog did next, well, it'll make you believe in loyalty all over again, and second chances too. And if you think no hero should ever be left behind, man or dog, just listen close, because what happened in Red Hollow, Montana, will stick with you long after the snow melts. The storm hit hard the night before, blanketing the edge of town in silence so thick. Even the wind seemed to give up. January in Red Hollow is a test of grit. The sun barely makes it through the clouds, the pine trees heavy with frost, and the world feels wrapped in ice and secrets. There, on the ragged outskirts, past the railroad tracks and that half-fallen chain-link fence nobody's fixed since the logging company left, stood an old warehouse, red bricks crumbling, windows boarded and busted, then no entry. Signs rusted into a dare nobody took. Through that ghost of a landscape moved a shape that didn't belong, a German shepherd, ribs showing through a rough coat, but still carrying himself like he remembered being somebody once. Name long gone with the collar, but he answered to Ranger, at least in his head. He'd been a search and rescue dog once, brave, disciplined, the kind you'd trust with your life. But what finally broke him wasn't fire or rubble or even the cold. It was losing his partner, Officer Sarah Grady. She'd been his home, and when she died in that apartment fire, he tried to save her, burned his paws raw, but it wasn't enough. And when the department took him in, something inside him refused to stay. He slipped away into the woods, became just another shadow, scraping by on whatever scraps he could find. But on this morning, something changed, a sound, soft and desperate, nothing like a wounded rabbit or squirrel. It was human, muffled by wood and snow, but so raw even a dog forgotten by the world could feel it. Ranger crept to a basement window, breath fogging the cracked glass, and saw a scene that made everything in him snap to attention. A man, tied to a chair, head slumped, wrists bleeding through rough cord, blindfolded so tight it looked cruel. Badge missing, but the torn shirt still said, "Cop." This was Deputy Cole Harris. Ranger had seen his photo plastered around town. He didn't read the words, but he knew the urgency, could smell the pain and that stubborn, familiar strength. Inside, Cole barely clung to consciousness, the cold working into his bones, the rope burns deep. Every breath a fight. When Ranger scratched at the glass, Cole jerked his head. "Who's there?" His voice was rough with thirst. "Please, help me," a growl, low and uncertain, not a threat, just the only way a stray could say, "I'm here." "Is that a dog?" Cole whispered, and something changed in Ranger. The training buried under grief snapped back. This wasn't just another hurt man. This was a mission, a rescue, and if he couldn't get in now, he could come back. Then, footsteps, someone returning. Ranger melted into the shadows, but he'd found his purpose again. Meanwhile, across town, Dr. Lisa Bennett, 28, with strawberry blonde curls, mud-caked boots, and a heart too big for her own good, stepped out behind her father's old clinic. She'd left for school, came back when he passed, inheriting both the practice and his habit of feeding the strays out back. She set down food and water and whistled, "Come on, soldier, you've earned it." Ranger limped over, dropped something at her feet, a mud-caked police boot, blood-stained and torn. Lisa cleaned it up, found the Red Hollow PD star, and felt her stomach turn. She called the station, voice trembling, and within minutes, Sheriff Mason Briggs, old, steady, slow to talk but quicker than most to act, was there. He held the boot, read Cole's name inside, and when Lisa said a dog brought it, Briggs just nodded. "I think that dog wants you to follow him." That night, while snow swept the streets, a plan came together. Sergeant Claire Durham, tactical as they come, pored over the map. Officer Dean Stokes, gruff but sharp, traced the last patrols. Their only real lead was a stray dog with a cop's boot, but in Red Hollow, that was enough. They'd keep it quiet, prep a search team for dawn, hope for a miracle. In the basement, Cole drifted in and out of darkness, pain, cold, the muttered rants of a captor who talked about justice and punishment, about how men like Cole always lied. When the scratching came again, Cole whispered, "You came back, didn't you?" Ranger whined, pressed against the wall, but couldn't get in. Instead, he barked short, sharp, a call for help. Cole straightened up, hope flickering in his chest for the first time in days. "Smart boy, keep doing it," he urged. At the police station, Lisa handed Claire every record she had of a German shepherd named Ranger, trained, scarred, once partnered with Sarah Grady. "He saved the deputy's life," she said. "He's not just a stray." When a drone feed picked up the shape of a dog moving near the lumberyard basement, everyone tensed. "Your dog just led us to Cole." Back in the warehouse, the captor returned, Ray Morton, heavy-set, scarred, eyes wild with old anger and fresh pain. He was a broken man, fired years ago, collecting grudges like bottle caps. He circled Cole, muttering about forgotten men, swinging a box cutter from his belt. "You enforce their rules, not the truth," he spat. But he didn't notice Ranger, low in the shadows, stalking the wall like a ghost with purpose. Outside, the search team arrived, moving silent in the snow, following a trail of boot prints and paw prints to the basement. Inside, as Ray raged, Ranger lunged, teeth bared, not to kill, but to disarm, knocking the box cutter free. The door burst open, flashlights, shouts, "Police! Hands where we can see." Cole was untied, but his first words were, "The dog he brought you." Sheriff Briggs nodded, "Good boy," and nobody doubted he meant it. In the hospital, Cole lay recovering, the ache in his body less sharp than the ache left by the absence of the dog who'd saved him. Sheriff Briggs filled in the blanks. Ray wasn't alone, mentioned a man in a white van, promised him a replacement for the daughter he lost. "We're dealing with something bigger," Claire warned. And the dog? Gone, vanished into the woods, a ghost once more. Lisa waited, heart aching, leaving food by the tree lean. Danny, her neighbor, watched her work. "He's not just a dog," she said. "His name is Ranger." They laid a scent trail, hoping to lure him back, not just for gratitude, but because they believed, somehow, he still had a mission. When Ranger finally appeared, battered but alive, Lisa dropped to her knees and waited, let him come to her in his own time. And he did, one cautious step, then another, then into her arms. Ranger wasn't just a survivor, he remembered who he was. When the FBI raided the scout camp, it was Ranger who led them, nose to the ground, finding the white van, warning them before it was too late. They found 2 kidnapped children, scared but safe, clinging to Ranger as the world watched. News cameras called him a hero, but in Red Hollow, they just called him family. At the sheriff's office, Ranger got his own badge, a collar tag engraved Ranger, Red Hollow Sentinel. Cole knelt and fastened it, asking, "Do you accept the call to serve again?" Ranger barked once, clear and proud, and the town broke into applause. In the months that followed, Ranger walked every beat with Cole, became the face of the Second Chance project Lisa started for shelter dogs. Every Saturday, he showed the town that even a heart once broken can learn to trust, to serve, to love again. Sometimes, the angels God sends don't have wings. They have 4 paws and a soul that refuses to quit. If the story stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Let someone know that no one is ever too lost to find their way back. What do you think? Can a town, a person, or a dog ever really come back from being forgotten? Let me know below, because sometimes the only miracle anyone needs is a second chance.